Welcome to Womenomics. We are so excited. Another day, another episode. My name is Tiara Bryant, owner of T. Bryant Notary Services.
And my name is Corinne Jones of Freedom Notary Services.
Yes, and we have a super special guest, aka the GOAT. I mean, honestly, everybody call you the GOAT. Like, everybody call you the GOAT. Please introduce yourself. We're super happy for you to be here.
I am not the GOAT. It's regular. Well, my name is Safiya, owner of Martin's Notary Services in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes. So, fun fact for the people who do not know, Safiya had a mentorship program and I joined, and so did Corinne. So technically, Womenomics would not be birthed without Safiya creating that mentorship program. So thank you.
You're welcome. You guys are doing so good. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. The one thing I say, like, I loved your mentorship group because one, obviously, like, we get to learn a lot of things and, you know, you took the time out to make sure that we knew stuff. But the one person who stood out in the group to me was Corinne, because she was always like asking questions. And, you know, sometimes those groups were like crickets, like wasn't nobody saying nothing, even though they have like, everybody want access to you, right? And as soon as they get access to you, they get stoned. So they get stoned. So yeah, I just had to say that. So Corinne, we was destined to meet.
Yes, yeah. I know when I joined the mentorship, the first day I logged on the Zoom, Tiara was teaching. And I was like, this is a scam. Where's Safiya? I came to see Safiya. And so you was like going over loan docs. I'm like, who is this chick? Like, but then I realized, I'm like, okay, she's smart. Then I said, oh, well, maybe they're in partnership. And then as I learned, you were, you know, a student like me, but you kind of, like I tell you, cream rises to the top. And you were, you know, helping with the course and stuff. So it was just super cool. And that, you know, again, like if it wasn't for the mentorship, I wouldn't know Tiara and we wouldn't have birthed the podcast. So we are eternally grateful for that.
Yes.
You guys are amazing.
That's our shout out. But you know, as everybody wants to know, we always start off this episode or every episode asking the same question, which is, when did you know you could be an entrepreneur?
I still go through like, I don't even know. That's a good question. You guys should just send me that question. That's a really, I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I still have my days where I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. Like it's definitely tough. It's a mental uphill battle. But I would say, probably like after a year of doing the same thing consistently. And it's hard, but I'm being able to get through it. It's just, I don't know. That's the tough question. I have to like think about that.
That's my favorite question, because when we have guests on the show, the answers vary. I know we had one guest that said they still don't know, or they still don't think they're one yet. One person said they always knew. You know, I didn't know until like I felt like I became one when I got my first loan signing check. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in business. So it varies. And then there are other times when it's like, now that I'm understanding what entrepreneurship is, it's not a loan signing check. It's way bigger than that.
It's way
that's a very, very loaded question. So it's understandable that you would like take it. Yeah.
Real good question, actually.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, you know, how you got started. I would say the one thing that I love so much about your journey is one, that you know, we can watch you grow on YouTube. So like started off like providing education, and now you're teaching people like how to expand beyond like notary, you know what I mean? And I know so many people who look to you for that type of education, especially on YouTube, because there's a lot of content out there. We already know that, but it's something about how you delivered it, how you simplified it, how you representing as a Black woman and everything like that. So, you know, I guess I want to know, like, why you chose like Notary to get started and kind of like where you're at now. Cause I think you've pushed past like the Notary world a little bit. You stepping into some other lanes now. So give us a little bit of that kind of like journey.
Right. And y'all are too with y'all podcast. That's the way to go. But I mean, there's no like, I don't know what's the word, like perfect answer for that. I needed to make money. At the time, the notary industry is where the money is, right? You supply and demand with interest rates. And these are things, of course, I've learned later on down the road. But you just take advantage of opportunities. Like you have to take full advantage of whatever's going on. Guy has been good. You know, he's guided my footsteps to have conversations with the right people so that I can continue to operate my notary business as such and kind of have the flexibility. And then I don't know, did you ask me like how did I kind of segue into the outside the notary world?
Yeah, so for people who don't know, I guess explain like what else you have been doing and also like how did you get to there knowing that you wanted to do that?
Right. So basically, the goal is to flip my money into real estate because that's something that I don't have to print loan docs every day. I don't have to answer the phone if I don't want to. Like it's just, I don't know. It's similar to anything else. Like it's one thing to have your craft and have your business, but it's another, like everybody talks about, to have true passive income, right? It's so funny. Sometimes people are like, is it ever really passive? Because technically you still have to do something to it. Like I'm still going to have to talk to renters. I'm still going to have to find renters, or even if I hire somebody. But I feel as though it's a more stable and safer solution in the future. And then it's also going to provide me the freedom that I want to live the lifestyle that I want. And all of this came from the notary business, which is why I'm so grateful from it, because literally when I started my notary business, I had no interest in real estate. I knew I wanted to buy a home because renting is, it's come on, but I didn't think I would be trying to do what I'm doing now, which is like developing actual lots and building houses and property and stuff like that. And I learned, like I said, I learned all that from the closing table. Like I'm a chatty box. Like we gonna get you through this closing probably in like 25 minutes, but you're gonna have such a good time that I'm gonna be able to ask you at least like 2-3 questions. And that's what I did with everybody, and it's doing very well.
Yes, I love that. That's smart. That's very smart. So what are some of, you know what I really want to know, because you be executing, like our topic today is execution. And that's one thing that you preach, one in your real life. That's one thing you preach in mentorship group to us. And it's one thing that we see, like we see you executing, we see you doing everything. And it's almost like, damn, like when do you find the time? You be doing YouTube, you be out here, at these closing tables, you do it all. So it's almost like, what is your morning routine? Yeah, give us your morning routine. What's your morning routine? Because I need to pack more stuff into my day. Let me know how to get started.
You know what? It's nothing. I don't know. I don't think it's anything crazy. First, you wake up, you thank God. You always thank God, because without him, we are nothing. Seriously. And then gotta clear my mind, clear my space. And I talk to my mother. And I get it. I just start. I don't know. I feel as though it's better to start every day with like a clear mind. And just, I don't know, you need time to literally sit and reflect, and then also remember what's important, what's versus not important. Because every day, more days suck than not, in my opinion. Not even suck, I'm not gonna say suck, but days are hard. Like, and sometimes you can be having the best day, and at 3:00 you get a phone call. Like, I keep telling people this. I told Tierra, but Korean girl, I was so tired one time, like a couple weeks ago, I mixed up the shipping labels. Like I had 2 packages, and one went to the boonies of PA, the other one was in Florida. And it was a disaster. And those are things that I still have to, you deal with, because that's the reputation of my business. Am I going to lose this client? Hopefully there's no rate lock expiration. There's just so much stuff that goes into it. So mornings, how you start every single day. And you have to leave everything that happened the day before in the past. Like, yeah, somebody pissed you off, whatever, but every day is a new day to be better. And then also remembering your goals. Like, You have to remember your goals. Nobody, if somebody's goal is to notarize 1,000 documents a year, all for it. But there's so much more in the world, you know, and I know, like, I just want the freedom. Like, I may probably end up coaching basketball one day or just doing like stuff, but I can't do that if I don't have other things set up. So it's just about remembering your goals, and just coming up with your routine. So whatever works for you.
So how do you manage to still execute at the level that we see you executing at, even if you get discouraged? Because it can really play mind games on you. I know we set goals, we got, action steps toward our goals, but life come at you. You can even have a consistent routine. And I'm speaking on behalf of people who really are putting in the work to make progress and move the needle toward where they want to go. But I'm talking about me. Okay. So here's the thing. So I have goals, I have action steps, but there's a block sometimes with executing. I don't know. It may come from overthinking. It may come from lack of habit of just kind of executing. I know, like Tiara doesn't. I see her as a major executor, and so she'll say, "This is what I want to do," and then next day she did it. Me, I tend to like do a lot of thinking and planning and perfecting, and that's the downside. So I'm just curious in terms of how you think and how you make things happen despite of whatever mental blocks you have or challenges you face. How do you, because if you don't execute, then things don't happen. We can plan all day and set amazing goals, but if we don't execute on them, then nothing will change. So what do you think is a key strategy that you use to, I call you a master executor?
Oh goodness. They're so crazy. I am not. I'm still, and some days I don't feel like it. But I would say, to be honest, like when I started my notary business, I was broke. Like I tell people this all the time. Like, and I feel as though when you are broke, like you're calculating 2 months in advance how you're gonna. I'm not gonna say manipulate rent, but like put half on this credit card so that I could pay by this date, and you don't have it, and then you work hard, like you work very hard, and you see what execution gives you. I feel as though that's the little boost in me that I always go back to. Like I said, every day is not going to be good. You're going to have more bad days than good days, but think about, I don't know, just think about the baby steps and the leaps that you took when you did actually execute. And it could be the smallest thing. Like if you said you were going to write an ebook, and like, that's what I think of. Like I have a book on Amazon, and I remember that day when I hit publish, it's like, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if nobody likes my book, buys my book. I'm a published author. I published this book. You know what I'm saying? And it's so just that inner feeling of just accomplishment and just knowing what you can do. But I'm not gonna lie and say it's not an easy thing, because when everything happened with the real estate market and business did change, I definitely went through a slump, because it's like everything's going so good. I have to restructure my business. Gas was high, toner was high. It was just so much at one time, right? And it's like, and I've learned this, like, when we're so excited when we start our businesses, and to a degree we feel as though we do know everything, or we just do know so much, and reality hits you. We don't know anything, and that's why they say give yourself at least 5 years for your business to flourish, right? And then also just, I don't know, like, just showing up every day. It's hard. It's the hardest thing, but that's why I recommend in the morning, do something that doesn't require you to think or go too much outside of yourself, like working out, or I don't know, calling your best friend, calling your mom, like doing something that's therapeutic, that as a person that can just give you some type of clarity. And then always tell yourself it's never as bad as it seems. God never gives you more than you can handle, and just get it done and get it done.
So what results have you reached at this point in your business that excites you the most, or that you're most proud of?
Shoot, girl, the fact that I'm still able to get a phone call, like, and I don't market. I do not market. I don't market at all. Like in 2021, and I mean, granted, that was a year we don't know if we're going to see again, but I feel like I marketed my butt off from sun up to sundown. I was posting 3-4 times a day. I was blowing people's phone up. I was at these networking events. I feel like I did so much, and I established the relationships to, I'm trying to tell you, I don't market. Everything is referrals, word of mouth, or just, like I said, establish relationships. So I don't know, just doing what you need to do in the beginning, and it'll give you the results that you need in the end. It really will. It really will. And sometimes you'll end up making more money with marketing less, because people trust you so much, right? The one title company, I love Keisha. They're like family. Like, I think I was telling Tierra this, like, they come to my basketball games. Her birthday dinners today, going to that, like, it's nice because I really worked my tail off. You know what I'm saying? And for the results to still be here, and I still have a business. Like, God is good, because I know that a lot of people are wiped out. I get comments on my YouTube channel all the time, like, about, oh, is it this? And, oh, I need help with this. I still get emails all the time. Just, so it's a blessing. So the fact that I'm still here and seeing how much execution works, it's God is good. God is very good.
Shout out to Keisha, abstract title. Look, I already know.
Man, that's my girl, man. That's my girl.
You always talk about her. But I think one of the things that you said that I feel like can help with execution, but people don't take that much time to develop, is building relationships. Like, effective networking is building relationships. All of this is building relationships. And I think one thing that you overemphasize and people, like I said, take for granted is, showing up, following up, and just really like genuinely leading with value. Like, I don't even think, honestly, sometimes I really don't think people understand what leading with value means.
Or being present in the space. Like, I know we all trying to make money. We all trying to get to $1, but you also have to realize everything is not about $1. I've done so much stuff for free. People don't realize that. I don't charge the most in my end community. I'm not Philly's number one notary because I have the most astronomical prices. I feel Philly was number one notary, and I'm just talking, is because I'm big on community, like it's not always about money, because sometimes there's things that people can do for you that have no price on it. None. At the right time, when you're like, child, I done met somebody who changes flat tires, and when I had a flat tire, clutch. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know, just being present in that moment and networking, like talking to people, and people are like, oh, you always say go to networking events. And it's like, well, if you're going to the networking event, one, you're sitting in the corner, you're not talking to anybody. Two, you're going in, if you talk to a title company and they don't give you any work, you're deflated. Like, and I know it's easier said than done, but sweetie, you got to keep going. Maybe it was just a little too late. Maybe somebody just beat you to it. But if you go on Zillow and realtor.com, thousands of closings happen every freaking day. No matter how you slice it, dice it. And yeah, the supply of notaries may be more and more, but you just have to, man, you just got to do your thing.
So Safiya,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh. So has your vision changed, like the vision you had for like whatever your life looks like, or whatever you imagine, what's your entrepreneurial journey? Has it changed from the beginning of your entrepreneurial career till now, due to like the results from your execution?
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel as though it probably changes every week. Like, it's just because I feel like I become exposed to different things. I feel like sky is the limit. Why limit yourself? Like, I'm at the point now where I can't think of the name for it, but the notary industry is just one business, right? Like, somebody could literally set it up with systems and automations and sell it. I may do that one day, because it's nothing but a change of some phone numbers, documents, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I approach it now as though I'm just learning how to be a business owner. It's just notary just happens to be the skill, but I want to get to a point where I can, if I want to purchase a landscaping company, and so all I have to do is look at the financials, put this into place, go about my business, etc. That would be awesome. So to answer your question, yes, like I was so small-minded. I feel as though like I used to want like a signing service, and possibly even a title company, but then you realize there's just so much more in the world, right? And that's why I'm starting with real estate, give me the freedom that I need, financial flexibility, and then kind of man, sky's the limit. I want to buy a hotel, like, and I'm seeing all these because regular people are doing it, you know? So it's like, it's so exciting.
That's boss talk. That is boss talk right
Y'all next.
Yes, child. We got some things. So I think that what I love the most about you in particular is like, you so raw with it. Like, I don't know, it's something about your personality. You just get straight to the point. You cut the sugar coat in and you get straight to the action steps. And so if you could give maybe like advice to a newer notary, like someone who's brand new, not someone who walked in the door thinking they know it all, not someone who is, oh, I think all the money gonna come to me, like someone who really want to get out there and like start putting in the work, what would be like your advice to
them? Okay. That's a loaded question, but it's a good question. So like you said, I'm gonna just tell y'all how it is. So you have to limit social media intake from an entrepreneur standpoint, because you'll just get so consumed. Like it got to a point where I wanted to do everything. I was trying to day trade. I was trying to do so much at one time, like at this service, at that service. No, you really have to lock in, because you'll spend so much time in that phase that you'll look up and it's 6 months later and you really haven't gotten that far, right? You've started a whole bunch of courses, you've talked to you've had a whole bunch of started conversations, but you really haven't dove in on what it is. And that I always go back to, what are your goals, right? Everybody's goals are different. So if your goal is just to make X amount of dollars from your notary business, cool, right? But if you have goals of, no, I just want to make X amount of dollars every single month so I can do whatever I want, that's just a different conversation. So I don't goals. You have to see what you want. Don't just say it. You have to literally physically write down what it is that you want, and you have to see it every single day, and you have to look at it every single day. And that just keep doing that. That's what I do. It's easier said than done.
Yes.
I'm writing it down. I mean, because it's valuable. You said limit social media intake. Like that speaks volumes.
Because
like,
it's always something. It's always something. And that's why I have not posted, because the moment y'all try to turn like this into Love and Hip Hop Notary Edition, no, that's number one. Number two, like, I'm not even going to go into details about that, but it's just like, you just lock in, find somebody that you understand what they're saying, do your research, right? And that's why I love YouTube, and I tell people do YouTube, because you're documenting your journey. Like, no, I was broke, baby, when I first started. I didn't know I didn't know what a notary was, right? But we're here, we made it, we've learned. And then also, you have to do the work. Like, even with real estate, now that I'm doing real estate, everybody's, oh, I want you to teach me. My first rule is, you need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Once you get through that, we'll have a conversation. If you understand basic concepts, then we'll talk about it. But even with real estate, a lot of people just stop at their realtor. Like, hey, this is what I want. Let me know when you find it. I find a lot myself. I've learned the city of Philadelphia system. I listen to different local people talk on, like, when they're on IG Live. So that's what I'm saying. Like, social media, limit social media intake, and then lock in with certain people that you trust, people that are actually doing what you're doing, people that you like, with you guys, right? You're going to have listeners out there who, at one point in time, when they want to hear certain information, like if it's a topic that's going on, they're only going to come to y'all because you guys are their trusted source. And so that's why I go back to, like, don't listen to too many people. And shoot, if you ain't posting to make no money, honey, make, like, fact check yourself, right? Don't get caught into the I don't know, and be yourself. Like, be yourself. Don't go outside of yourself to market your notary business or to do all this other stuff. Like, do what makes you comfortable. Yes, you have to step outside your comfort level, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, don't think that you have to, I don't know, like, I don't want to be messy, but, like, you don't get sucked into the rah-rah of, like, unnecessary things, right? And then if it's not working, find something else. Don't waste time beating the same horse if there's other options out there as well. right? Like, and things have changed. And that's the other thing. I have so much to say about the notary business, but know the market and understand that there's more than one ways to make money as a notary. I cannot say that enough. Like, I cannot say that enough. And find a mentor. Like, you have to find somebody who is going to tell you the truth, is not going to tell you what you need to hear, right? Oh, even when it comes down to like profit and loss, like if you have a mentor that, and they're fabricating, basically just trying to tell you, oh, you made $5,000, that's amazing, and not saying it's not, but if they're not having the same conversation on the flip side of that, like, what were your expenses like what could you have done better, things like that. So finding somebody who's going to challenge you and push you, and then making sure, and then your goals. I'm going to always go back to your goals, because if you're doing this just to make an extra $500 a month, it's no problem with that, because that can get you the real estate you want. That can get you the stuff that you want. That's perfectly fine. But if this is something, if you're sick of your job and you really want to do this full time, you're going to have to put some work in. You're going to have to put some work in. No business is easy. Stop looking for how to make something quick. It's not quick. It's not quick. It's not. And then you have to learn a lot as a business owner. So I know that's a loaded lot to say. If you're new, I wouldn't get this. I think it's a great industry. I will have my notary commission the rest of my life. It is the best little side hustle, can turn full-time business or whatever the case may be, no matter what. In any industry, somebody will need a notary or some services that you can offer. But for newer notaries, just your goals, right? And so evaluate, is this something that I want to invest my time in?
That was good. It was loaded, but you gave so many good things.
I was taking notes.
No, yeah, seriously, because one is like shiny object syndrome. It's funny because me and Rafaim did an episode on leveraging L's about this, but it's basically like you said, sometimes being on social media, you can see so many things. Everybody have their business, everybody showing they highlights, because we know social media is basically all highlights. And it can get like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to add all of these things on. And then, like you said, next thing you know, you start and stop. So now you have all of these services under your belt, but like, you really don't know how to do them. You haven't like mastered them. So when you have opportunities to do them, you kind of like, you freeze up, or, whatever the situation is. And also getting a mentor, getting a coach, cutting your learning curve, and getting someone who's invested back into you and your business. A lot of the times we see people out there, showing themselves as a coach, as a mentor, but they're not talking about those things as making your business grow. They're just giving you the education of how to do something, which you can find on YouTube for free. Right. So I think one of the things that you taught me, and just I've seen everywhere else being re-emphasized, is when you get you a coach, like research that person and really pay attention to what it is that y'all are talking about. Like, it's not just the bare basics. This is how you stamp a paper. This is how you sign and go to title companies and, hand out your business card. Is how do you grow in this business? How do you retain repeat customers? Like, how do you, use Notary Gadget and like all of those things? And of course, they can find a lot of that information on YouTube, but it's something about talking to that person who is actually doing those things and finding success in their business. So
right.
That was good. I think people are going to take a lot.
Social media is the biggest one. Don't compare your life to others, because people be lying and it's getting so bad. Like, we out here falsifying police reports for the credit repair scams, and like people who, the whole business credit thing, I'm not gonna go down that lane. Like, and I have been there. I tried to do government contracting and this and that. Like, it's just so much. And you realize that I'm just wasting my time.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just wasting my time. Like, this same time that I could be doing this, I could have been making some money, or I could have been getting some rest to, clear my thoughts for this situation. That's why I go back to your goals. Like, if I know that my long-term goal is real estate, so I just need a profitable business. I just need cash. So I just need to be able to make money, take care of myself, continue to build my properties, so I don't have to worry about this. So hopefully people do listen. I know it's easier said than done, and that's the other advice, like separating your life from your business. because it got to a point where I feel like it was consuming me. Like I'm waking up and the first thing on my mind is, what am I posting today? No, I had to cut that out ASAP. Like I need to thank God I have breath in my body. I need to go work out for me, and then I'll engage with others. Like, so just mindset. But it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, I think you mentioned not comparing yourself to other people, but also you talked about like locking in on a specific skill or business that you want to focus on. I think to some that's like underrated advice, but it's so valuable because in this world, like you were saying, Tierra, the whole shiny object syndrome where you get caught up. Like I was trying to do options trading. I was trying to do flipping pallets. I was trying to do all the arbitrage on Amazon, all of that stuff. And you can never really hone in and master anything. So it's so much time that passes, so much money that gets wasted, and you still back at square one, but you want to tout that you're able to do all these things, but you can't truly add any value. But I think we feel like if we do the whole 7 streams of income, if our goal is to say that we got 7 notches in our belt in our business, then we're so much closer to making more money. But I'm learning now that it's essentially kind of the opposite. Maybe you should do 1 notch at a time. And if you are skilled enough and you have enough resources, then maybe you could, add on things simultaneously. But I didn't know that at first. I thought the faster I can add more things, being a process server, being a this, being a that, and never really did any of it. You can just say it on your Google business page. When somebody call you about it, you're looking shifty because you don't know what you're doing. So I just think it's so underrated, the value of really honing in. But when you think of people who have become beasts in their field, they honed in and focused, they put on blinders and they focused on one thing to mastery. And then it branched out.
Absolutely. And when they do, they don't have to go too much outside of themselves to be successful at the next thing, right? Like my plan is my properties, it's going to be a business. I'm going to hire a property manager. I'm going to create my list of references. So if I need somebody, I'm going to call somebody. Rent is going to be set up automated, like everything. It's going to be a business, right? So that's the other thing I'm just, as opposed to just, we know how to do loan docs. I know how to notarize something. It's not that hard. But I'm more so focusing on polishing the principles that are going into my business, because I want my business to be able to run with, like, when I'm not there, because that was one of my biggest downfalls. I didn't know they don't teach you these things in these notary courses. They just teach you how to get some work. But it's like the true freedom is I should be able to go on vacation for 2 weeks, come back, my business is still operating like I never even left. I don't have that right now. I don't think I'll probably ever have that in Martin's Notary Services. Honestly, because not that it's too late, but it takes a lot of restructuring and it's like whatever, but it's a lot of learning lessons. So that's what's really important. I tell people, like, you just have to, what do you want next? What are you doing? Whatever you're doing right now, like you said, Corinne, like, hone in. If this is the cash flow business, if it's bringing in this amount, this is how much is going towards investments. This is how much is going to, and just keep repeating until you hit that goal, and then make that next step. But like you said, because I'm telling you, I used to be looking at them charts all freaking. I used to be listening to the charts in the car. I'm getting the notes, and it's very interesting. But I learned real quick that those who are very successful at it, they look at that stuff all day. I don't have that time.
Right.
I don't have that time. Maybe when I'm done with real estate and I have time to just sit and I don't have to think about paying bills. But right now, that shouldn't be my priority. When you find something that's working, you have to stick to what's working. And that's the thing. Social media makes us feel like as soon as we get this little bit of success, I need to go write an entire ebook about it. And that's the other thing. You made a great point about the 7 streams of income. Everything that I've added to my arsenal in my business was something that was requested, right? Similar with you, Tierra. Like, I know the reason you made your course was because people was asking you questions that make sense. People will get one business credit card and now they have a $300 course on doing business credit. And then three months down the line, all they have to really show for themselves is that in itself. And it's like, are you good? Do you have your emergency money? Do you still have a stable business? You know what I'm saying? Are you just flexing for the gram?
Yeah, that's real.
So that and I can go on and on and on, but I'm not. But just focusing on your goals and what it is that you want. That is the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think that, basically y'all guys kind of both say it, but you said it in two opposite ends. So I think people do feel like, okay, I need to have, 7 streams of income. So they look to create 7 different businesses, right, where I feel like Safiya really emphasized, and I mean, I caught on to this quick, but I feel like she really emphasized having 7 income streams from your one business.
Right.
And it's completely different. Absolutely. It's completely different. And I think that's something that I took with me. And I was like, ooh, how can I create this? Like, how can I create this to fit, my life? So when I started doing officiating, I was like, okay, now what other things can I do that's in alignment with officiating? Because I know that's like what my niche, my focus is, and create stuff with that. And I think Safiya, you did so well with this, because it's like you had e-courses, you had ebooks, you had your mentorship group, you monetize your YouTube, and you did all of this while still focusing on the notary industry and still staying within your niche of like loan documents. So, or real, the loan signing agent side of notary. So I guess my question really is like, how did you kind of find those other things to add to your notary business without stepping outside and like getting into different niches and like all that other stuff? Like, you created multiple streams within your one business. Like, how was that process like for you? Or did you, how was that process like for you?
Right. That's a great question. So that's the other thing. So I read a lot, and I also listen to podcasts, and I'm a firm believer that don't reinvent the wheel. Like, just find people who are doing what you want to do and go about your business. I don't know if you know who Aisha Selden is, but she is a freaking boss. And that is every interview she's ever put out on YouTube or anything. I've listened to every single one probably 3 times. Andre Hatchett is somebody else who I listen to because he's been a notary longer than almost longer than I've been born. And they tell you what works. And when somebody tells you what works, you listen to them. And so Andre actually, I believe, is the one who talked about having the multiple streams of income underneath the umbrella. But then it also goes back into like, good businesses solve problems. Long-term income, like real estate, that's why real estate is so long-term. We have to have somewhere to live. There is no way around that. And so it's about finding problems. So for example, when I started my notary business, YouTube came about because I was on YouTube looking for answers, and I just feel like everything is fabricated. Nobody's getting to the point. Like, what are you talking about? I feel like I can't relate to you. So that's why we made a YouTube channel, right? With the book, everybody's asking me the same questions. Okay, I'm gonna take all the questions y'all are asking me, put in a book. Here is the link, right? Because it just makes my life easier. I can't respond to every email. There is no way. I already got to respond to title companies. I got to do this. I got to do that. And sometimes I don't feel like it, to be honest, because I am a person. I have a life, and I had to get back to that. So just finding ways to make your life easier, right? So somebody's asking you a million questions, you pack it up, you go for 2 weeks or however long it takes you do what you need to do, write it, publish it, etc., package it up how you need to, and there's your solution, right? You have another stream of income, but it's nothing has changed too much. People are already sending you emails. Now here's the solution, as opposed to me going in depth or whatever. Even with mentoring, it got to the point where the book wasn't good enough. People had more questions, so it's like, all right, this is how you can access me, etc., etc. But understanding that there's multiple ways to generate streams of income, right? It's not just necessarily selling something. It could be just be learning something new and putting your money in the right vehicles, right? Dividend income, right? It's a long-term play. I get that, but it's still money. It's still money that you're making in your sleep, right? So that's another way to just be able to diversify, but may not necessarily have to do e-products, because with e-products, you got to market. And I haven't marketed since like May. And I don't, it's just a lot. Y'all know how that is. It's a lot, right? So, but I learned that about myself really quickly, that, I necessarily don't want to interact with people every day. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just who I am as a person. And it became overwhelming. So now I have to find other ways to make money that doesn't require that. right? And then that's when it may fall into the multiple different pots, but I think you just have to evaluate where you are and just be realistic with yourself. That's what's helped me a lot. I feel like I wasn't realistic when I first started. I got caught into the shiny object syndrome, shiny object field, maybe. Like, it's just like, ooh, notary, like, because it was great money. It still is great money, but it was just like, wow, like, this is amazing. So,
have you read the 10X rule?
By Grant Cardone? I started. It was okay. Like,
yeah. So I actually just started last night. Me and Corinne are doing a basically like a book club. Yeah, there we go. Yes. The only reason why I say that is because, so when I say I started, like, I literally just read the first like 10 pages. I don't
know if y'all could see it. You can't see it. Hold on, I'm listening.
Yeah, I opened the first 10 pages, but just based on the first 10 pages and kind of like what you're saying, I would consider you to, hey, there we go. I would consider you to be working at like a 10X level because of the way. Yeah, and it's you don't see it. It's so funny. We do not see ourselves how other people see us. Because when Corinne be saying stuff to me, I'm like, who? Who is you talking about? But I say that because the thing about the 10X rule, or at least, like I said, I'm only 10 pages in, but I like the thing that it emphasizes is having the appropriate amount of effort to get a task done. And that allows you to get more tasks done, which allows you to have more activity, which will create, you know, the whole 10X concept. And I feel like I see that in you and what it is that you're saying, even if maybe I'm drawing because I just read it, but I see the connection, because a lot of the times we're thinking like, okay, well, we do this one thing and it's going to produce this result. Whereas it's not just that one thing, it's about 10Xing that activity. So like you're saying, following up, going to that title company, going to these networking things, like you're probably going to interact with that person. Like, I'm going to just say, for example, how many times you interacted with Keisha before she really started rocking with you?
A lot. I would say a lot, but they were also purposeful. Because right. I slid in her DMs. That sounds crazy, but you know, you do you gotta, hey, my name is da, 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 da. And she left me on red. I didn't get any work from her probably the first year. But what I did was, when I purchased my lot, I was like, we're going to quick abstract, because I feel like all I need is a conversation. And people, that's why I tell people what works for me, but I've seen it work for others. I was like, no, I need to have a conversation. But I'm not coming to the table like, oh, I just want work. No, I'm gonna send you work as well. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody needs to eat. And so once you start to circle that dollar and you put money in the community, and like I said, you build that genuine, like for now, like honestly, if she never gave me a closing again, she is still like she's family, you know? And I feel like that's irreplaceable. But I worked my butt off for that, because in order for me to walk into that title company with confidence, and when she did give me the opportunity, I went through a lot of turmoil that first year, you know? Like, I feel like title companies is the golden place to be, right? They treat you good. You gonna leave with some snacks, maybe. It's just, it's wonderful. It's what, you know, if she calls me and I miss the call, I actually have some time to call her back. Like, she's gonna wait for me, you know? And that's nice. But you really, you work to get there. You definitely.
So in chapter 1 of the book, like, I was taking notes on it, and here's when you was describing when you first started out and you were going to networking events and you were marketing like crazy. This is why I think Tiara says that you following some of the principles. So it says that this is the focus of the 10X rule. You must have targets that are 10 times what you think you want, and then 10 times what you think it will take to accomplish those targets. Because if you did like many people did, they just sit and they apply to 300 signing services from their computer, or they copy paste the same messages to 1,000 settlement agents, and then they get out their business card at maybe an event if it's convenient, if they get the guts to go. Right. And then they make one gift basket or do one round of marketing, and then they sit and then they wait. And so I think, like, if I take myself back to being a brand new loan signing agent, and I heard, and me just lacking all this wisdom that I have now, and I heard that this other loan signing agent in Philly was doing all the things you said, I would think that her goal must be way bigger than just to get clients or just to get loan signings. But I think when you set a bar 10 times higher than what you intend, you get exactly what you want. But if you do, like, if I just do the bare minimum, like I apply to signing services, I do what everybody else is doing, I'm not gonna get the bar so high. I think we gotta set the bar far higher than we even want to get to. So then if you don't make it there, you fall amongst the stars anyway. Right. So I think like when we describe 10X, maybe in your mind you're thinking like you're just this powerhouse, like Arnold Schwarzenegger running up the steps or stuff. But no, it's just literally the action steps you take in are just, they little it when you look at them, but they massive in terms of impact. That book is the bomb. I'm only on chapter 1, but it's good.
That, man, I gotta start reading it again. That I really do. And the last thing I'm gonna say on the subject is, I think one of my strong suits that helps me is basketball as well. And I try to tell people to find a time period, not time period, but like even like Tiara, you have a child. You guys both have children.
Yeah,
that's a whole journey in itself, right? You there's no book on how to be a mom, right? Like it's baby steps, and you learn as you go, right? You may want your child to be the next president, they may not want to be the next president, but you're going to work through that process. And so with me, I use basketball. Like I started playing super late. Most people play starting when they're like 5, 6. I started playing seriously in like 10th grade, and I'm very tall. I'm 6'3", so it's not, I'm clumsy. It was hard, but I remembered like, I suck today, but I'm gonna be at practice tomorrow. Like that game was terrible, but listen, we're gonna keep working, because at the end of the day, it's to get a college scholarship. You're gonna do layups, like you get in little mini wins, and like you said, you get massive value. So I just apply the same principles. So you find a pain point from prior when it didn't look like you were gonna make it. And apply that same thing to your business, because business is hard. Business is hard, especially with like no employees. Business is very hard because you're everything. And we're females, right? So I don't know about y'all, but I'm emotional, especially come that time of the month. So it's a lot, and you still have to all that stuff and still produce and be on your A game.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. So one of the things that I know that you spoke a lot about is, or to continue education, and to like develop research on your own, was books and podcasts. You always talk about Rants and Gems. Rants and Gems, that's your baby. You learn a lot there in terms of real estate. But if you can give someone maybe like 2 recommendations for podcasts and 2 recommendations for books to help alter their mindset to be more of a executor, what would be your suggestions?
So books, I would say Cash Flow Quadrant is like the next edition of Rich Dad Poor Dad. It puts your life into perspective, and it challenges you. It asks you a lot of questions that you really should answer, like write down. And then like regarding in the entrepreneur world, I would say the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. I feel like that's by Darren Hardy. It's very good. It's very good. And then podcasts. Y'all, I don't even really listen to podcasts anymore. I feel like I'm podcast out, because I overdid it. I used to listen like 5, 6 episodes a day. But
maybe 2 that helped you a lot. Leave it like that.
Earn Your Leisure, and Rant to Gym is technically under there, so I'll leave it at that. And then I'm gonna say, I'll say Black Wealth Renaissance. It's just very, I don't know. You just have to find that one person that you don't mind listening to, because the message is the same. It's just, it depends on how people deliver. You just have to find people you don't mind listening to. If they're corny, make jokes, whatever you need, and just go all in. But yeah, and Millionaire Mindsets. That's another good one.
I like them too. Yeah.
Super good.
I liken that to also like getting a mentor. Like there are so many mentors out here that can not just teach, impart wisdom on how to maintain your business, how to, overcome and navigate mindset challenges, and how to do a skill. But like, what are your thoughts on newer notaries, or just any notary really, or any business owner, and identifying and finding a mentor? because some people want mentors that will just kind of hold their hand and walk them through certain things. Some people need mentors that are going to give them a certain level of nurturing that they can't get in a book or a course that they pay for. But how do you just find these people? People like that, you would think they have to be your close friends and family. But
Right.
what are your thoughts on finding a mentor?
So one, I would say, I relate a lot back to basketball. So it's kind of like having a coaching relationship. Every coach and player relationship is different. Some like my coaches know I can, if you yell at me, I'm gonna break down. Like I need you to talk to me, hey, But some people, they need that. They need somebody barking at them, So I would say first analyzing who you are as a student. You need to be realistic. If you need somebody to hold your hand, you need to know that, right? So that when you are finding your mentor, the expectations can be set. Like, don't say, oh, I'm this type of learner, when you're this type of learner, and then expect, your mentor just to give you all the answers, if that's not what works best for you. So I would start with there. And then depending on what it is, I would say find somebody like local, or I don't know. It depends on what we're talking about. If it's something that can apply all across the country, cool, whatever. But like for a notary business, especially maybe in your specific area, finding somebody in your area, but also like bringing like value to them, right? I don't know about you. I'm sure people ask you guys all the time for help or mentorship. And sometimes it's frustrating because when you look at the questions, it's like, did you do any research already? Because 9 times out of 10, and that's what I'm saying, like people who are looking for mentors, put yourself in their shoes. If you're running a full-time business, if you have all of this stuff going on and somebody's asking you for help, you would want them to maximize on their questions that you're asking. You want to see that they've done their due diligence to do their research and that they are serious, because most people who ask me for help, either the answer I give them is not good enough, or they don't execute on it. And so then it's just like, I'm wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say, start by doing your due diligence, and then seeking help, either in your area, or like you guys spoke of earlier, make sure you get your references and do your cross background checks and make sure. But that's what I would say. And be kind, like understand that mentors are humans. Like I'm an introvert, unless I'm around like people I trust and my friends and my family. So you're barking at somebody through the internet I don't have the 100,000 to give you. I could teach you, but we got to work with me. So that's just me.
Okay, well, I have a shameless plug. So are you coming back with a mentorship program?
LOL. Yes, I have one with Tierra and Rafael. Well, one that we're working on. It's not, I wouldn't even say mentorship. It's just a community that we're building, where, you just get all access for everything. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. It's a lot of brains and thoughts and ideas into one setting, that can benefit a lot of people.
So wait, what's the name of this? What's the name of this program? Y'all gotta give me more information.
It's called Diversify Your Stamp, but yeah, like Safiya said, it's a notary community. And honestly, the thought really came about. I was in training with Rafael, and it's like, okay, I'm learning about this. I'm in Safiya's mentorship. And then I also want to get into like officiating. So it's like, it's so many ways, like Safiya said, and I think it's overemphasized, right? It's so many ways you can make money in the notary business. Like it's just so many different type of ways. And I think everybody has their little niche and stuff like that. So the one thing about Diversify Your Stamp that is unique is like everything is in one place. And you're learning about how to be a good notary, how to run your notary business well. Like Safiya is saying, you understanding profits, you're understanding loss, you're understanding that because you walked out the door with $250, you still drove there, you still printed supplies. Like those things have to be calculated into, that revenue that you're speaking about, because it's not just clear like that. and having just like guest speakers and just really having like that access to people who are going beyond just working in the notary industry. Like Rafael, he does his signing service, well, not signing service, but yeah, he has his notary agency that's nationwide. Safiya getting into this real estate. Eventually I'm going to open up an event space. So it's like everything that Safiya is saying, using the notary business as a cash flow to fund things outside that's going to bring you passive income or just your passion or whatever it is. Right. So
that's good. Your passion, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not passionate about a stamp. So I make my money.
Not at all. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah. I love giving oaths. Oh my God. Like, no.
No, not at all. Oh man, that's funny. So yeah, sorry y'all. That's my shameless plug because this is my business partner. I got both my business partners on here, so I'm super excited.
So how can people find Diversify Your Stamp? So how can they get be part of the community?
So right now we are on the wait list. Sorry, hold on one second.
It's okay. So yeah, no, there's a wait list. There's a link that people can sign up for a wait list. And then we will notify them kind of once we're already there. Because you know, my philosophy is I don't like to give people what I think they want. I want to give people what they need. And I do know, like, I literally get emails and questions every single day. So it's a great place for, you know, hey, this is our community. These are resources that I personally trust, right? We're not doing none of that crazy stuff. So this is a place, you know, if you're looking to build, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to go to the next level, whatever the case may be, it's just kind of like an all for one. And then even as you guys know, like when I was doing it, that's why that day you, when you got on, Tiara was on there talking about those loan docs, because you cannot do everything by yourself. No matter how you slice it, dice it, there's no way for you to maximize on your potential and your efficiency doing things by yourself, because we're humans. Right. And I'm emotional, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but especially, you know, that time of month, because it's a women podcast. We're feminists over here. Okay. It's a lot. And so it's nice to, I don't want to carry the 70% today. Maybe I only want to give 30%. And it's nice to have, you know, that balance. So it's good brains, a lot of energy, a lot of information into one space where people can just come and learn a lot.
So we'll make sure we plug the link for notaries to join the community. We'll make sure we plug it on this episode at the bottom.
Absolutely. Yeah. So to wrap it up, we always like to give our listeners, our watchers, like tools to add to their toolkit. So the biggest thing that Safiya, honestly, you literally covered so much. There's so many gems in here. It don't even make no sense.
Keep taking notes. I was like,
I know, right? I'm gonna go back and watch this. But if you could give maybe like a couple of tools that you have used in your own business, like you said, to be that master like executor. Even though you don't consider yourself a master executor?
No. I feel like this summer I've been so lazy. I love it though.
Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be working. We don't want to have to work super hard in our business every single day. At some point in time, we want to work.
Enjoy your life.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. You want to work so hard that you've set up something so that you can go back to enjoying your life or whatever. So yeah, at least, I mean, you went hard. You was out here. We see you. I saw you like been restructuring your page, like your Instagram page don't even look the same anymore. But that to be able to not market your business and not really see a downtrend as well shows that you did your job, or you went hard your first year or whatever. So what are some tools that you could give to people to kind of like replicate what it is that you did? Because like I said, everybody don't want to be going hard for the next 15, 20 years. Like they want to go hard and then be able to really enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Right. So easy. Sacrifice. Like you just have to sacrifice. Like that 2021, like I'm not going to go through my whole story, but I was broke. And when I moved back here, I was not playing. Like it was, I don't know. I'm so grateful that I read Rich Dad Poor Dad prior, so I knew how to manage my funds, because I know it's a lot of people out here who fumbled that bag crazy, touched a lot of money when interest rates were low, and now are out here basically ground zero. my goal from day one has always been to flip every single notary penny I had. I wasn't out here buying I still have a single tray printer. I don't know. So I'm not gonna go on a tangent, but sacrifice and finding ways to just finding ways to get to meet your goals no matter what, right? And but also being realistic with yourself, like and understanding that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to, we all go through I think I know everything. Life reality smacks you and you don't. And just what do you do? How are you going to take on that moment? Like, are you just going to dwell in it, or are you going to figure it out? So I would say the biggest thing is just sacrifice and understanding, like, the greater sacrifice you make now, the greater the reward is going to be. Certain materialistic things are not going anywhere. Fancy cars are not going anywhere. All this stuff is not going anywhere. Stay within who you are. Know your goals. Write your goals down. You have to write them down, not in your head. Write them down. Literally take the time out of your day to write your goals down. And understand that it is going to take sacrifice. It is going to take sacrifice, right? Let's say, oh, I'm just gonna buy this, just to reward myself. That's fine, but maybe that's, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 you could have did elsewhere and made 10 from it. So sacrifice, also always learning. Like, I know I got to keep saying that you don't know everything. You have to continuously learn. You have to become a better person at asking the right question. People's time is very valuable, right? So you have to learn how to ask the right questions that are going to bring the most value from the situation as well.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I really just be talking from experience, man. I'm not the same person. You asked me a great question, Corinne. I'm not the same person I was when I first started my business. I'm not the same person I was probably the beginning of this year either. Like, every day it's something new. It's something new. And it's just like, yeah, you thought you were doing something, and then you'll hear about, like, the guy in Tampa, like, he's killing the signing service business. Calvin, like, he's bringing like 30, 40 bands. Yeah, like, and that's him. Like, that's his lane, and that's what he does. So and I'm sure he made a lot of sacrifices for that. I know that didn't come overnight. You know what I'm saying? And he probably deals with so much as well. So just, I don't know, embracing the journey and embracing the sacrifice and just keep going.
That was good. And just one thing I just want to touch on real quick was the delayed gratification. So like you said, those cars ain't going nowhere. Them bags ain't going nowhere. That restaurant ain't going nowhere. Like, a lot of the times we get the money and we're just like, oh, snap. Right. Let me go treat yourself. Like, let me go treat myself. And it's like, we trick off our money when we really could be putting it towards something, like you said, that's going to make us more money. So just really implementing that delayed gratification is I feel like that's going to be key too. So I'm just throwing that in. But you said it without using that phrase, but that's pretty much it.
Think about how much time and energy it makes you to make 10,000. Like, in the beginning, like when you're first starting your business, there's no such thing as an easy 10K. No, you're going to work for that. You're going to work for that. I don't care if it take you 6 months, a year, a month, you're going to work for it. Even as a notary, man, come on, like, you're going to be tired. So if I just work my butt off for this 10K, I need to be making moves so that when I regenerate this 10K, I don't have to do half of this labor. I don't have to do half of, and that's, I think, what really propels me forward is just, how can I make my life easier? My next 500, how can I make this easier? I don't care if it's dividends. I don't care if I make it 10 years from now. How can I do something? And that comes from just being a constant student. Like, I listen to something every day. You have to learn something new every day. Because if you don't, you're going to consume yourself with crap on social media.
Yeah, I was going to ask, but we're wrapping it up now, but I think you already answered it through the interview. I wanted to know, who did you have to become to get where you are? But I think what I gathered from this interview is that it has just been a process, a journey, an evolution. And you're not going to always know, like, you may not have even envisioned who you are today when you started. Mm-mm. And so I can picture who you were when you, like, your first YouTube videos. But I see a sense of strength, and I see it. I like you feel the energy that I get from you. You're very clear and direct, and no nonsense.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted. I don't sugarcoat to me. Don't lie. Don't try and tell me to scam about CPNs and all that. I don't want that. I just want some good, honest, clean money and go hang with the kids. That's what I genuinely want. And I feel like we can have that. But I need somebody to be the sooner somebody is honest and direct with me, the sooner I'm going to get there. Because if you telling me how to scam, that's going to catch up with me. And I'm going to have to deal with the repercussions, and you're not going to be anywhere to be found. So that's why I just try to be what I wanted in a mentor, not just the fancy courses or whatever else comes with it. No, I just want somebody to be honest with me and tell me you're not going to be a millionaire in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. You're going to be a millionaire, but realistically, it's not going to happen that quickly. You have to go through the process. So I just try to be what I need. What I need.
That's good. That's important. So yes, listen, y'all caught a lot of gems. Okay. Safiya was not holding back. We appreciate you because that's what you bring to the table at every table you at. And you can't expect nothing less. So thank you for being you and authentic and giving us the gems and showing us what worked for you. Because at the end of the day, you're right. You get successful by not reinventing the wheel because you take so much time reinventing the wheel. Hell, you probably don't even get to doing what the hell you need to do. So yeah, we appreciate you. So of course, shout out your socials where people can find you.
Right. So my business page is Martin's Notary Services. And then you can also find me on YouTube. It's just my first and last name, Safiya Martin. And I'm sure they'll put in the description box. But those are my main two. I'm going to get busy on YouTube again soon. I'm just taking my time.
Enjoy your summer. Enjoy your summer. Yeah. Just pumping out videos like nobody business, okay?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna stop brushing my hair, but I know my mom gonna call me like, I didn't raise you like that. So, child, I need to get me some locks like y'all.
Come on.
Yeah, come on over.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So, yeah.
But thanks for having me. I'm so proud of you guys. Keep going. You never know where the podcast will take you. You never know. You just never know. So just keep going. Keep going.
We appreciate you just sharing space with us. I mean, this was so rewarding for me. Like the things you were talking about, I think a lot of us have heard it time and time again. There's nothing special about what you're saying, but you are living proof about what you're saying. And I think that's what's so impactful. And that's why we're just super grateful. That's why the world loves you. And we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you to come on back.
I'm coming. I'm having the time of my life. This has been the best summer since like 2016.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's been real good. So, and y'all make sure y'all do something fun for yourselves. Take care of yourselves. You guys deserve it.
Yes, thank you. All right, y'all. We are signing off. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your alerts. Like I'm trying to get my best Safiya pitch.
Yep, turn on those notifications, everything.
Yes, so we are signing off. This is Womenomics, and we'll see you next Womenomics Wednesday. Peace, y'all.
Bye, y'all.